Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, Mr Deputy Speaker, it's regrettable that the member for Jagajaga has so fundamentally distorted the situation with pensioners. And perhaps one of the Labor Party's greatest shames when they were in government was when they callously removed 80,000 single parents from the single-parent pension onto Newstart. And even Kevin Rudd, the former Prime Minister, said that was a day of great shame. The most vulnerable of mainly women and some men in our community were savagely attacked by the Labor Party, and Kevin Rudd said sorry, and what a shame that the member for Jagajaga has no sense of regret about that whatsoever. The Labor Party also increased the pension age from 65 to 67. 65 to 67, so there is an enormous amount of hypocrisy. And we joined with the Greens to pass a pension increase to the most vulnerable of pensioners. And yes, there was an adjustment in the threshold to people on the part pension because we didn't feel that it was appropriate that if you had assets of $1.2 million, that a part pension was payable, and we felt we brought some fairness back into the system, and now that's just under $900,000. And $900,000 is still a very significant amount of money, and many pensioners would love to have that amount of money in their bank account. And when we made that adjustment, which was based on fairness, we also increased the pension to 170,000 of the most vulnerable low-income pensioners, and the Labor Party rejected that legislation, which is also reflects how little they really care about pensioners. And we've seen that in spades, Mr Deputy Speaker, with this shocking attempt to grab the cash tax refunds from pensioners and self-funded retirees. The Leader of the Opposition has bungled his own tax backflip. He can't even execute a backflip with any sense of clarity. He's now admitted that this is going to be a $3.3 billion or more tax hit on retirees every single year if he gets his way. And this is not just a shocking attack on the self-funded retirees around our nation, it is also a shocking attack on pensioners. There is no pension guarantee. Anyone receiving a pension will still see that their super fund will lose its franking credits, potentially costing pensioners thousands of dollars a year. Bill Shorten, the member for Maribyrnong, the Leader of the Opposition, and Labor do not care about pensioners. They do not care about self-funded retirees, and this, frankly, is a shocking mess of a policy. Mr Deputy Speaker, our government's focus is on building a strong economy and standing up for those who most need our help, and that's why we are going to fight this policy every step of the way. Very proudly, we have absolutely attacked multinational tax avoidance. Again, we had to join with the Greens in doing so. This is going to include a range of legislation to ensure that multinationals pay their fair share of tax. And as a result of this legislation, the ATO has identified 38 large companies and expects that some $7 billion in income will be returned to the Australian tax base. Mr Deputy Speaker, our focus is on driving jobs for all Australians, increasing job opportunities, driving business investment, driving confidence. And that's why we are absolutely determined to pass our company tax cuts so that all companies, big and small, can share in this prosperity. And this, of course, is a policy that Labor previously agreed to and supported. And the member for Lilly, sitting opposite me, in 2010 banked $600 million in his budget with a 1% cut in the company tax rate, delivering $450 on average to all workers for the year, and he bragged about how well that was for the economy. And the member for Lilly has never explained that. He sits there shaking his head. The member for Lilly has never explained He never explained what you don't. What the member for Lily doesn't understand is your absolute hypocrisy.
Member's time has expired.